Alright, ladies and gents, so I was going to do one of my big, complex, in-depth type of videos today on how I lost about $300, but then I was like, I did that last time, and last time's video was basically me going in-depth into something, so I decided I'm going to try to do it every other. So I'm going to make those quick, quirky, simple, fun videos that are top 10s, top 5s, so on and so forth, and then every other video I'm going to make a really in-depth video. That way I'm pleasing both sides, the people who want long videos and the people who want short videos that are just fun to watch in general. So you'll learn and you'll get entertained. Perfect, right? So here's the thing, I haven't been asking you guys for many ideas recently. I've usually just been asking you guys to kind of leave random comments. Well, this next video, I need your ideas. So it's called 5 Times the World Hated Supercell, and basically the concept is that we're going to try to look at all the updates Supercell released or didn't release that affected Clash of Clans in a terrible way, and people were on the verge of quitting. So I don't know, think back, try to find it. I know Hog Riders was one of them, I know Infernos was one of them. Things like that, feel free to leave in the comments below. Tell me which one you hated the most, and tell me what time made you hate Supercell the most. Alright, and finally I got one more thing for you guys. So I always hate to say this in front of update videos because like someone will always call you out and be like, no, those aren't your ideas, I've seen them before. But I literally sat down and looked at Clash of Clans and thought of what is something that I've never seen in forums, I've never seen in the comments, and is just an original idea that should be there, but people haven't thought of it yet. And so a bunch of these ideas are those. But before anyone calls me out, I'm also going to say that there are a bunch of these ideas that aren't mine and I saw them in the comments. So it's kind of a 50-50 thing. Try to figure out, you can feel free to try to figure out which ones I thought of and you're like, whoa, I haven't thought of that here either. And you can of course see the ones that everyone else has already thought of, and it's just a feature that should be there but Supercell hasn't done anything about it. Alright, let's start this video. Here are 10 things that tick me off about Clash of Clans because they're updates that are so simple to put in there. I mean, you don't have to make Town Hall 11, you don't have to redesign the loot system, you don't gotta do anything. You just have to tweak a little line of code and you'd be able to solve these problems. But here's one that everyone has and no one ever seems to complain about. The revenge button, right? Okay, so when I click revenge, it always says can't attack this village has an active shield, but then some of the bases don't have an active shield, and I feel like a lot of people don't use revenge because they simply don't have the time to go through all of these and try to find someone who doesn't have an active shield, right? I'm one of those people, I simply don't have the time to do that. So what if we made it so the revenge button only shows up if they don't have an active shield? Isn't that more intuitive, right? Then we wouldn't waste our times, and of course we'd only click on the ones that don't have active shields and then figure out whether or not we can attack them or not. But no, sometimes I go through the whole list and every single base has an active shield. That's frustrating. Have you guys ever had your friend accidentally upgrade something? Hopefully not the Town Hall, although I have heard stories of friends who go on and don't know anything about Clash of Clans and gem the Town Hall thinking it's funny. But say your friend decides it's a good idea to go upgrade this, or say you even get hacked, I don't know how that's gonna happen, but say even that happens, and they go and upgrade completely random things and waste all of your loot. Well, isn't there a simple fix to that as well? And just make your base password protected. Make it so no one else could go on. Now there's 2 ways to do this. You can actually make your whole base password protected, or you can make it so every upgrade is password protected. So no one else can go on there and just start upgrading random things, or better yet, no one else can go on your base unless you want them to go on your base. Smart, right? Sometimes wars are close, right? Like this, 68 to 87. That's not too far, it's not super close, but it's our traditional war the way it works. You lose, you win, it happens. So, what if this war looks something like this? 16 to 87, or better yet, in my favor, 87 to 16. And the other clan was like, alright, why the heck are we even gonna bother watching this depressing war go down and just destroy our clan hype? Why is there not a forfeit button? What if you could just forfeit and start another war right there on the spot? Or better yet, say you get a terrible matchup and you can actually ask the other clan if they accept your forfeit before the war even starts or not. Now I can see how the second idea, or second part of that idea, could cause problems, but this, simply adding it so wars end a little bit earlier than usual, I don't see how that could cause any problems at all whatsoever. If you know you're gonna lose, and you don't want to stare at the other clan just miserably fail, and obviously both sides have to agree, when you hit the forfeit button, the other clan has to be like, alright, we'll let them forfeit, it's over, we'll take the win. But I don't know, I feel like this is something that should be there, but simply isn't. Obviously, simply adding a button isn't going to be the way to do it, but I feel like there has to be some way of ending a war early, if you guys know what I mean. Sometimes one particular person is going to join your clan and you either don't like their name, like this guy over here, or maybe they have a really cool name and they are having your chat be spammed or something along those lines. Or maybe they're kicking random people every time they get elder. Whatever the case is, you want to get rid of them, but then an elder inside of your clan, an unknown elder, happens to just keep inviting them back. Like what happened right here, okay? So, what would be the solution to that? You want to get rid of this guy, but an elder keeps inviting him back. Well, a ban button that the leader could use, and only the leader could use, since the leader barely has any power these days. But anyhow, if you had this ban button, it would solve so many issues. Say you don't want one particular person to just come back to your clan. You don't want them ever again to come back because they did something terrible. Well, then you should be able to choose who gets banned for good and who doesn't. I feel like Supercell sort of does that with bases, but we should be able to do that with who comes in and out of our clan. Just gives us a little bit more control. So how cool would that be? Onto the Clash of Clans system itself. I feel like there should be some sort of punishment for people who miserably fail in war, or if you find someone who's been trolling, or if they do something terrible, there should be some sort of punishment besides getting kicked. I feel like kicked is not a good option. I mean, kicked is great, but then you kind of have to remove that person from the clan. And what if they're a really good person for your clan? They're perfect in war, but they just messed up once or did something stupid once. Well, what could we possibly do that wouldn't affect them too harshly, but at the same time it would sort of make everyone else make sure that they aren't something that anyone else should follow? So I don't know what exactly it would do to earn this, but say there's like a done system, I don't know, and if you get that rank, then I don't know, you can't receive donations anymore. I know that's a terrible idea, but what if you can't chat anymore for like a day, or you have a chat ban for like 24 hours? I know there has to be something, I just obviously cannot tell you guys what that would be, but if you could potentially demote someone to something below member and everyone else could sort of learn from that, I feel like it would be beneficial to the clan. I don't know about you guys, so that would be something. Oftentimes, when I'm building a base, I select these walls, right? Select row, and then I remove them. And then I realize that I have to, and then I realized that I had like walls in a particular formation, or usually it has to do with walls, but I had something in a particular place, and I can't find that place again. So what if I had these three walls exactly here and here, and then I can't tell what to do with this third wall. Maybe I had it here, maybe I had it here, who knows? And then I want to do this, okay? Just to bring back those walls. It's not too hard to do that, but I feel like there's an easier way. What if you added an undo button to this system? So when you're building a base or anything, just like Photoshop, you'd be able to undo whatever you did, and you can undo as many times as you want. That way, when you mess up really badly, and we've all done this, we're at the end of a base build and we mess up really badly, we wouldn't have to redo the whole base. We could just hit undo about 30 times and start from a decent place where the base was still looking good. I kinda wish Clash of Clans had a last since button, and basically if you go on their profile, you'll be able to see the last time they were on. So you would have a cool little thing, I don't know, here, 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 anywhere, and it would say last on 48 hours ago, last on 16 hours ago, or maybe it would say last seen 18 hours ago. And this way you could tell how inactive a person is. Now another part of the idea is to have an active button where you could simply see if someone is on or not, and a lot of people don't like that. I don't really know why. It's really helpful for the leaders and codes, but at the same time I can see why people wouldn't really want that. They don't want to chat sometimes, and maybe it would force people to go on to chat because everyone would be like, hey, I know you're on. But anyhow, yeah, a little green button right there that would say this person is active, and then right on top of that, last seen 2 minutes ago, last seen 18 hours ago. I feel like that would be really helpful, and for maybe trolling, you could get rid of trolls really easily, but at the same time it would be really helpful for the leader to know who to put into war, who can chat, who doesn't chat, who's active but just pretending to be inactive, and so on and so forth. I think one of the biggest reasons as to why Clash of Clans is getting boring is because we're sick of seeing clouds. You see, this little time right here, when you go into a higher league, you see this a lot, searching for opponent, and it takes a long time for this whole thing to disappear, the clouds. But I'm in gold right now, so obviously every base just pops in right after another. But when you are searching for those clouds, a lot of people get bored and they're just staring at clouds. I feel like Clash of Clans should make it so you are allowed to do things while you see that. I'm not sure what you would be able to do while you see those clouds, but there should be something that you can do. Come on, maybe you can chat as long as you see the clouds. Maybe you can send a certain amount of chat messages. Maybe you could check out other people's bases. Maybe you could look at the world's rankings, and this would only go for top leagues, since they're the ones who see clouds for so long. Obviously in gold, I feel like people would figure out some way to cheat off of that, but regardless, the idea is there. It's really boring just staring at those clouds. And worst case scenario, say they don't want to add something that allows you to interact with the game while you're looking at clouds and only allows you to click the next button. And then what if they made the clouds a little bit more interesting and, I don't know, gave you facts or good things about, you know how when you open up Clash of Clans it gives you that little tip? Maybe what if you had a little something to read? Heck, what if they implemented forums into there while you're looking at there? I don't know. I feel like forums should be implemented into the game, but that's a whole nother thing. So if you guys think of that idea good, I don't know, leave a like on the video already. I do want to put out there that I'm really biased towards the whole clan system, and this is because we now have 12 clans, and I kind of have to oversee all of them, and I'm trying to like think of ideas that would sort of help make my life easier, which is why a lot of these ideas go around the clan system. But at the same time, remember what this video is based on. It's not some video where I'm going to talk about Town Hall 12 and how Grand Warden level 3 should come out and all that other thing, all that other stuff. No, I'm really trying to think of small little changes that Supercell could put into the game, heck, the next update, and they would improve gameplay for everyone. But that's just me. These are just little tiny things that should have been there but just aren't yet. Alright, so here's another one. Sending mail to individuals rather than everyone. Sometimes I just want to tell one particular person one particular thing. Say their base is a little messed up, or their war base needs a little bit of work. So if you guys take a look, well, I'm not co right now, but I would usually be able to send mail, and when I do, everyone can see it. But what if I want to send mail? What if I want to click this person and send them a mail telling them to chat what their war strat is, or telling them to improve their base, or telling them to wake up, you only have 30 seconds left and you should probably get going on that war attack. Anything along those lines. And you can kind of do this, but this is when you kick someone. I don't want to kick someone to give them a message. I want to give them a message. And I feel like you should be able to do this with everyone just once a day. You don't want to spam them with random messages and things along those lines. But it would be really helpful for co's, and it would be really helpful for the leader as well. And finally, one of the biggest reasons that costs us wars is, of course, inactives. And what if the opt-out button was taken to the next level? So take a look at this. If we take a look right here, then we can assume that some of these people were inactive. Fortunately, none of the people didn't use either of their attacks. I'm looking for someone who didn't use either of their attacks. So that's this guy, okay? So he's clearly inactive. Now what if, once again, we had the feature where we could see whether he's gone for a while, but what if we could take it to the next level? Because no one wants to go through 50 people and look at how long it's been since they were last on. We can't even do that yet, but I'm just putting that out there. So what if Clash of Clans would auto-opt you out of Clan Wars if you are not on for 48 hours? Doesn't that make so much sense? If a person is inactive, they should not be placed in wars because Clash of Clans would not let it happen. The leader could obviously override that and place them in war anyway, but that's just a bad mistake on the leader's part. So this way we would no longer have people who don't attack in war. There would be absolutely no excuse for not attacking in war. Obviously that time frame can be changed. Maybe it could be 72 hours, maybe it could be 24 hours, but the idea is there. I feel like that's one of the main features and it's something that really should be there. It would help me out so much when it comes to starting wars, and I could really tell who's inactive and who is not. And ever since they changed the league system so we can't even tell whether someone's inactive or not for who the heck knows how long until the end of the month, it's just super frustrating for us to figure that out. And I really hope Supercell does implement some of these features over the course of I don't know, it doesn't really matter, but eventually. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this video style as well, and if you guys are, then of course leave a like, and don't forget to leave a comment from the very beginning of the video. Thank you guys for watching. This is going to be me, logging off.
Learn to play, he'll teach you fast, cause I.O.N.M.A.S, no compare contrast. With this competition he fucking blast, cause everybody be placing last. Variety, yeah, it's very vast, like 100 videos they getting past. Those I.O.N links, you better click, cause his videos are fucking sick. You better sell, cause I really think that I.O.N.C.L.A.S.H is the place to click. I hope you make it to 7 digits of YouTube subs on both accounts. Yeah, talent and you got large amounts, and YouTube views too large to count as we go. Yeah.